Ever since the announcement that the Air Force was considering moving Eielson Air Force Base's F-16 Aggressor Squadron to Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, there's been strong public outcry from both elected officials and interior residents. Last night, those objections were aired at a hearing in the Westmark Gold Room, where the Air Force's draft statement of the environmental impact for the move was brought to full focus. Among the objections made by both leaders and citizens were issues like job losses, local economic downturns, in addition to critiques of the draft statement itself.
When we looked at this draft EIS, we noticed that none of the comments we made in the scoping meetings last winter have really been taken into consideration. That frustrates us because we've raised a lot of concerns about the economics presented, the financial data that was in there.
With speakers like Governor Sean Parnell, Senator John Coghill, Borough Mayor Luke Hopkins, and City Mayor Jerry Cleworth, all pontificating in favor of keeping the aggressor squadron in Eielson, the hearing was pitched against what was seen as a short-sighted cost-saving measure.
Well, clearly it's become all about budget rather than about National Environmental Policy Act issues. And in this case, we've got budget concerns driving a NEPA process rather than the intent of an environmental process, driving it. And the issue there is that if you're going to look at costs, then we better know where the Air Force is headed. And they've not performed, they've not finished their strategic review, so they do not really know how Eielson fits. Instead, they've just taken Eielson and said, that helps us meet our budget needs. Gone are the F-16s.
I believe that they used the same information that they developed in the SATAF report, and we had many questions about the SATAF report. How do you get these numbers? How do you run this stuff out? We questioned those budgetary figures.
With the multitudes of everyday residents also stepping up to comment on the draft environmental impact statement, perspectives of business owners, veterans, realtors, and average citizens made clear that the Air Force's move would negatively impact the interior.
My 5 children are all involved in the company, and we are a privately owned company. We've been in business for almost 39 years right here in Fairbanks, and with the base in Eielson leaving, it will be extremely detrimental to our business. The military amount that they spend with us is between 40% and as much as 48%. Now that would quite be disastrous to us if we lost that amount.
The real fact is that the United States has made a tremendous investment in the infrastructure and buildings. And you simply can't walk away and expect those buildings not to deteriorate very rapidly. So the real issue is, will they really be able to come back and turn it on if they need to?
The packed room last night demonstrated that everyone from local business owners to the state's governor was committed to having the Air Force recognize the potential pitfalls of a quickly drafted proposal. Additional feedback can be received until August 2nd via mail or online. After this period, the Air Force will begin the process of creating their final environmental impact statement, which will take the public comments into consideration. For CBS News 13, I'm Hunter Judkins.